Good morning. Welcome or welcome back to Bookeemonsters. My name is PK. It is Tuesday, July the 30th, and we are here to look at the new releases being set into the wild this week. Every day of the week, the work week, we look at the different genres that are being released this week. On Mondays, we look at cozy mysteries. Yesterday. Today, we look at mysteries and thrillers. Hope you had a good night. Quick announcements. I do have sprints tonight at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. I do them 3 times a week, every Tuesday and Thursday evenings and Saturday afternoons. Let us jump in. So these are the new releases this week. Came out today for the most part. Some of them are a little bit later in the week. For the most part, Tuesday is release day. Like Mother Like Daughter by Kimberly McGrate, perhaps is how it's pronounced. When Cleo, a student at NYU, arrives late for dinner at her childhood home in Brooklyn, she finds food burning in the stove and no sign of her mother, Kat. Then Cleo discovers her mom's bloody shoe under the sofa. Something terrible has happened. But what? The polar opposite of Cleo, whose out of control emotions and unsafe behavior have created a seemingly unbridgeable rift between mother and daughter, Kat is the essence of Park Slope perfection, a happily married, successful corporate lawyer, or so Cleo thinks. Kat has been lying. She's not just a lawyer, she's her firm's fixer. She's damn good at it, too. Growing up in a dangerous group home taught her how to think fast, stay calm under pressure, and recognize a real threat when she sees one. And in the days leading up to her disappearance, Kat has become aware of multiple threats. Demands for money from her unfaithful soon to be ex husband, evidence that Cleo has slipped back into a relationship that's far riskier than she understands, and menacing anonymous messages from her past, all of which she's kept hidden from Cleo. Interesting. Good morning, Elena. Happy birthday. Do you want to share how old you're turning? You don't have to if you don't want to, but happy birthday. Mary, good morning. Have a happy Tuesday. Happy birthday, Elena. Have a great day, she says. Awesome, awesome. Look in the Mirror by Catherine Stedman. Nina, still grieving from the loss of her father, discovers that she has inherited property in the British Virgin Islands. Wouldn't that be nice? A vacation home she had no idea existed until now. The house is extraordinary, state of the art, all glass and marble. How did her sensible father come into enough money for this? Why did he keep it from her, and what else was he hiding? Maria, once an ambitious medical student, is a nanny for the super rich. The money's better, and so are the destinations where her work takes her. Just one more gig, and she'll be set. Finally, she'll be secure. But when her wards never show, Maria begins to make herself at home, spending the days luxuriating by the pool and in the sauna. There's just one rule: don't go in the basement. That room is off limits, but her curiosity might just get the better of her, and soon she'll wish her only worry was not getting paid. Never go in the basement. You are very welcome. I hope your day is fabulous. No Funeral for Natsia. A witty and theatrical South Asian mystery novel set over the course of one single electrifying night, exploring the unfinished business death leaves in its wake. Natsia Sami is a celebrated author, but perhaps her greatest plot twist is yet to be produced. In her final days, she wields a pen one last time as she fills her diary with instructions for her sister and writes 6 letters to be delivered after her death. Excuse me. There is to be no funeral for Natsia. Instead, only 6 invitees are invited to a party, one of whom is a mystery guest. Over the course of an extraordinary evening, secrets are revealed, pasts reconsidered, and lives are forever changed. Well, that sounds intriguing. Holy moly. The Kindle is 1614. I remember when they used to be like $8.99. People Will Talk by Kieran Scott. When the Frank family throws their annual clam bake at their gorgeous beachside home on Cape May, the seafood is always delivered to white-clothed tables on fine bone china. And Peter Frank, the beloved son and perennial heartbreaker, will make the rounds, charming every woman on the guest list. Top of that list this year are Maya, his tennis star girlfriend, just coming off the high of winning Wimbledon; Catherine, his high school sweetheart turned wildly successful wedding planner and influencer; and Leanne, the fiercely protective aunt and legal guardian of his only son. When Maya, Catherine, and Leanne arrive expecting an extravagant feast, they're instead lured into a room together by a mysterious text to find Peter and Tilly. Tilly, all golden blonde hair and perfectly tan skin, explains to the three women that she and Peter plan to get married that night, that Maya and Peter are through, that Peter will no longer be investing in Catherine's company, and that Leanne must give up guardianship of her nephew. The enraged women attend the impromptu wedding, but when a chandelier falls and crushes the bride, suddenly there are three likely suspects with three perfect motives. Now they'll have to work together to figure out who really did kill Tilly, and fast, because maintaining a good reputation in this crowd can be murder. Interesting. We've got interesting perspectives on these today. Return to Wildcliff Heights by Carol Goodman. Well, that sounds like a gothic-y. Oh, it is. New modern gothic mystery. Losing yourself inside of a book can be dangerous. Not everyone finds their way out. Agnes Corey, a junior editor at a small independent publisher, has been hired by enigmatic drinking game author Veronica St. Clair to transcribe the sequel to her 1993 hit phenomenon, The Secret of Wildcliff Heights. St. Clair has been a recluse since the publication of the Jane Eyre-esque book, which coincided with a terrible fire that blinded and scarred her. Arriving in the Hudson Valley at St. Clair's crumbling estate, which was once a psychiatric hospital for wayward women, Agnes is eager to ensure St. Clair's devoted fans will get the sequel they've been anticipating for the past 30 years. As St. Clair dictates, Agnes realizes there are clues in the story that reveal the true and terrifying events 3 decades ago that inspired the original novel. The line between fact and fiction becomes increasingly blurred, and Agnes discovers terrible secrets about an unresolved murder from long ago which have startling connections to her own life. As St. Clair's twisting tale infiltrates Agnes's psyche, Agnes begins to question her own sanity and safety. In order to save herself, Agnes must uncover what really happened to St. Clair, and in doing so, set free the stories of all the women victimized by Wildcliff Heights. Jennifer Lynn Barnes has a new one. That's a big name in the fantasy, but this is listed as mystery. Hope that trend continues for the rest of the week for books. So many these days have the same old, same old plots and settings. Indeed. The Grandest Game. First of 2, it says. 7 tickets, an island of dreams, the chance of a lifetime. Welcome to The Grandest Game, an annual competition run by billionaire Avery Grams, and the 4 infamous Hawthorne brothers, whose family fortune she inherited. Designed to give anyone a shot at fame and fortune, this year's game requires 1 of 7 golden tickets to enter. With millions on the line, it just seemed very similar to what she's written before. With millions on the line, those 7 players will do whatever it takes to win. Some of the players are in it for the money, some for power, some for reasons all their own. Every single one of them has secrets. Amidst it all is Grayson Hawthorne, tasked with a vital role in this year's game. But as tensions rise and the mind bending challenges push the players to their limits, physically, mentally, and emotionally, it soon becomes clear that not everyone is playing by the rules. Do you have what it takes to play? Is a tagline. Another name in thrillers is Sherry LaPena. What Have You Done is her new one. Nothing ever happens in sleepy little Fair Hill, Vermont, but this morning that will change. And one innocent question could be deadly. What have you done? The teenagers get their kicks telling ghost stories in the old graveyard. The parents trust their kids will arrive home safe from school. Everyone knows everyone. Curtains rarely twitch, front doors are left unlocked. But Diana Brewer isn't lying safely in her bed where she belongs. Instead, she lies in a hayfield, circled by vultures, discovered by a local farmer. How quickly a girl becomes a ghost, how quickly a town of friendly, familiar faces becomes a town of suspects, a place of fear and paranoia. Someone in Fairhill did this. Everyone wants answers. Robert Gold, 10 seconds. This is third in the Ben Harper series. The headlights blind me as the cab pulls away, but I catch a glimpse of my friend's carefully made up face before the car disappears into the darkness. If I knew that was the last time I'd see her, I might have recognized the fear in her beautiful green eyes. Madeline is a whip-smart journalist and one of my dearest friends, so when she doesn't come back into work after a particularly tense birthday dinner, I begin to panic. Then I get a message that chills me to the bone. It's time to settle the score. Call the police, and she's dead. Madeline's beaten face stares back at me from the photo, and my heart hammers at the spark of recognition in her eyes. She knows her attacker. Madeline was always the first to get any story and the last to worry about her own safety. She made a lot of enemies in her career, but who would want to kill her? Digging into her past, I discovered details of a chilling murder case from 20 years ago. Madeline launched it into national headlines and helped put a man away for murder. As I press her friends and contacts for more, a detail lets slip that explains everything. Someone else was there the night the murder took place. Someone Madeline may pay with her life to protect. Havoc by Deborah J. Ledford, second in the Eva Lightning Dance, Duran. It's been over a year since the case that almost broke her, but when Eva Lightning Dance Duran is called back to duty, she doesn't hesitate to answer. A bank robbery has left an officer down and a suspect on the run. Law enforcement is in hot pursuit and residents are on the lookout. But before anyone can catch the criminal, tragedy strikes. A member of the Taos Pueblo tribe has been shot and killed. The culprit? An untraceable 3D printed gun. With the support of fellow tribal cops, Eva breaks the news to the victim's family and swears to find justice. More violence follows, feeding the rising racial tensions between the Taos Pueblo people and the Hispanic community. New evidence forces Eva to consider the possibility that the bank robbery and 3D guns are related, but until she figures out how, there's no telling how deep this crime ring goes or how far its evasive ringleader will go to protect it. Karen McManus has a new one. I read her before, but I think I'm a couple books behind her publications. For all of Kat's life, it's just been her and her mother Jamie, except for the 48 hours when Jamie was married and Kat had a stepbrother, Liam. That all ended in an epic divorce, and Kat and Liam haven't spoken since. Now Jamie is a jewel thief trying to go straight, but she has one last job. at billionaire Ross Sutherland's birthday party, and Kat has figured out a way to tag along. What Kat doesn't know, though, is that there are two surprise guests at the dazzling Sutherland compound that weekend. The last two people she wants to run into: Liam and his father, a serial scammer who has his sights set on Roth Sutherland's youngest daughter. Kat and Liam are on a collision course to disaster, and when a Sutherland dies, they realize they might actually be in the killer's crosshairs themselves. Somehow, Kat and Liam are the new targets, and they can't trust anyone except each other. Or can they? Because if there's one thing both Kat and Liam know, it's how to lie. They learned from the best. The Nurse's Lie by Daniel Hurst, second of three in the Perfect Nurse series. This comes out on Thursday. Nurse, mother, wife, killer? Only a few months ago, my life was simple. I spent most of my time caring for patients in brightly lit hospital wards. Then I'd pick up my son from kindergarten before cooking a meal for my husband. I'd drink in every precious moment with them. Now everything has changed. I don't recognize the woman I've become. I'm a liar. Nurses are supposed to save lives. Instead, I helped to take one. I did it to protect my family. No one can find out what I've done because I'd lose everything: my marriage, my gorgeous baby boy, even my life. Then one day I stepped through the front door to find a woman with long blonde hair and perfect white teeth in my family home. My heart pounds in my chest. We used to work at the same hospital. She's the only one who knows my biggest secret and my darkest lie. It's clear she's back for revenge, but she's underestimated me. I'll do whatever it takes to keep my loved ones safe. It's time to finish what I started. It's my life or hers. Oh my. Again, interesting perspective. Much more immediate in the first person, even in the description. Like the setting of that one, so might keep that one in mind. The Taos is gorgeous, as is the Pueblo. I found it a very moving place. Yes, since you've got you have that experience. It's going to be much more meaningful and relevant for you. And Kim, good morning. Overslept. That's okay. Sleep is good. We'll probably sleep more before gymnastics in 4 hours. That's a good idea. Hi, Kim. Glad you're here. I know what you mean about sleeping. Would love to go back to bed myself. Indeed. I woke up, thankfully. I wake up multiple times a night because I have to, use the bathroom and so forth. But I woke up at 3:15 and found, for whatever reason, our power had gone out. I don't know how long. Maybe it even just blipped, but it was enough that my alarm clock was flashing. Like, yeah, that's one of my fears, is that I will not wake up in time and do the show. The Woman Who Lied by Claire Douglas. But yes, I would love to go back to bed. I do that on Saturdays and Sundays. Amelia has a dream life, but someone knows the truth. Dot, 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 dot. Amelia Ward lives in suburban London with her husband, their young son, and a teenager from her first marriage. Amelia is an ordinary mom, and she's also the best-selling author of the Miranda Moody detective novels. But when writing her 10th and most difficult book, life takes a disturbing turn. An incident mimicking the plot of one of her novels occurs in real life. Just an unsettling coincidence, right? Until it happens again and again. Then someone she knows dies in the same way as the victim in the book she's currently writing. Why is someone doing this? What do they want? How could they possibly know what she's thinking and writing? Is Amelia and her family next? That would be disturbing. That's when you start writing romance books. You Shouldn't Be Here by Lauren Tomlin. Two strangers search for the truth behind bizarre occurrences no one else dares to discuss, only discover that they're connected by secrets that could destroy them both. When 16-year-old Angie Stewart starts hearing a mysterious voice in her house, she's thrilled at the possibility of a ghost. Finally, something interesting is happening in her boring hometown of East Henderson, Pennsylvania. But why is she the only one who can hear it? And what does it want from her? Yeah, I'm out. Meanwhile, out of the house, I mean. Meanwhile, first year teacher Madeline Zhao just got the keys to her new home, which is located close to her job within walking distance of a dog park, and most importantly, in the town where her cousin went missing several years ago. No one in East Henderson wants to talk about what happened, but Madeline is determined to find answers. As the two strangers search for clues, their investigations begin to point toward the same dark place. But by the time they realize that the truth could be deadly, it's too late to turn back, and someone out there will stop at nothing to make sure their secrets stay buried. That is all we have. At least we weren't racing towards the end. But let's do a quick look over. The first couple, first three, the first row sounded interesting. And then after that, I'm not really, I think I'm marked safe for the most part. But I might read the first paragraphs of the first ones there. But I started Garbogust early. Kim says, I watched several hours during the night. Oh, sure, you were up watching. Kim, I no longer have a clock. I use the alarm on my phone. Yeah. I've thought about setting that up as a backup. Kim, it went off. I just ignored it. I get you. So if you're not familiar with Garbogust, I think this is like the third or fourth annual of it. It is allowing yourself to read trashy books or guilty pleasures or whatever that definition is for you. Last year, I only read technically one for Garbogust. It was Magnolia Parks by Jessa Hastings, which younger booktubers absolutely are obsessed with. And I found it to be garbage. Hated it. But for me, what I'm doing this year with Garbogust is I'm reading trashy books. I'm reading pulp fiction books or books that have funny titles. So it's totally subjective. Whatever a trashy guilty pleasure kind of book is for you. And reading one means you participated. It's called Garbogust, and there's some booktubers out there that are hosting it. But so I started early. I am reading, or actually listening to the audiobook of First to Die by James Patterson, the first in the Women's Murder Club series. It's also counting as my scavenger hunt prompt for whatever the words are, book in a long running series kind of thing. And I'm enjoying it. The audiobook is done very well, and I listened to it last night while I was crocheting, and you might remember that I was binging The Rookie and started to binge Blue Bloods. So I've got that police procedural routine for my evenings. And so it was enjoyable. I just read what I want, period. Me too. I'm such a mood reader. I can never do book clubs. And I usually, if I do follow a readathon or challenge or anything like that, I walk away. If I don't like it, I find books that I would probably be reading anyway. So I just use them as guidelines. And with the prompts, with the Killing Cozies group, I have found books slash authors that I would not have found otherwise. And so I'm glad I did find them. So and I just can never do anything other than read what I want because I'm such a mood reader. But I do have a Garbogust list on Amazon, and maybe I'll show it to you guys on Friday. We'll see. Mary says, I'm with you, Kim. I read only what I want to. And as I say, if the book isn't working for you, it's okay to pause it or set it aside, DNF it, whatever you want to call it. There's too many books, you have too little time, and you can always come back to it. It is not an assignment. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you're watching it now, thank you guys. I appreciate you. If you're watching it later, because I repost this later, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you have a very good day. Hope to see you tonight with sprints. Again, I do sprints tonight at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'll probably start a little bit early because with summer traffic is a little quicker. Now saying that, I've probably cursed myself. But have a good day. And as the banner says here, don't be a bookworm, be a bookie monster. Have a good day and God bless.